What's up guys, it's Mudge here with Cue Components. In today's video, I'm gonna be unboxing and assembling the Cue Smith Deluxe Lathe. It finally got here. I'm excited, I can't wait. I've been waiting for this thing for a couple weeks now. If you guys don't know what this is a made in USA specific Cue lathe made by Chris at cuesmith.com. I'm gonna take everything out of the box and I'll see you guys in a second. All right guys, so I have everything unboxed and laid out. I'm gonna do a basic setup on this Cue and how to put everything together. Let's dive into it. All right, so the great thing about this lathe is it works on a dovetail system, so it makes it easier to take things on and off. This is the cross sled, so let's put that together first. All you have to do is there's another secondary dovetail on top of it with the spring. All you do is line up the dovetail and then slide it in and then lock it in place. Let's put the wheel together. So all you have to do is, right here is the shaft. Just there's a flat part of the shaft. That's where you have to line up this grub screw. So you just line it up, use a small hex key and tighten it up. And now it easily moves. It's a little stiff. I think this needs to be greased up, but much easier to move it now. All right, now time for the headstock, which is great. There's 2 chucks, so it keeps your workpiece super straight. So the same thing, it's a dovetail. I could loosen it and kind of just put it over it, or I could just go there and slide it in, whatever works. But I'm just gonna do that. All right, and then you can tighten this down a little bit. I don't want to tighten down all the way because until the motor's fixed and then we know where the belt's gonna go. So I'm gonna keep it loose for now. All right, next we're gonna put the 2 steady rests on there. So you got one right here. So if you loosen it up, it can literally just go over it and then tighten it down. I'm gonna put it like about halfway somewhere. You'll adjust these based on what you're working on. That's what I love about the dovetail system, that you could go over it. So just in case like I want to take this out for whatever reason, or even if I want to take the headstock out, I could take it out without taking everything else off. On other systems, you would have to take everything off and then slide it off. All right, now it's time to put the motor in. So you take this bolt off and then take off one bolt and a washer. All right, now let's install the motor. First thing you want to do is make sure you get this L-shaped bracket in there first and then line it up right here. And then you put the bolt through. This bolt is not going to tighten up all the way because it's a locking nut. So you just put it in as deep as you can. Like this. So you want to keep this L-shaped bracket as loose as possible. This is for like a belt. This is used as a belt tensioner. Keep it as loose as possible. Line up the headstock with the belt. And then you want to put it into the smallest pulley on the motor. Okay. On the headstock, put it into the largest one, which is the 3rd. So you want to line it up that accordingly. All right. So once you have it lined up to the correct pulley, you want to tighten this up. All right, next you want to tighten this down. It acts as a chain tensioner. So I tighten it down not as tight as you can, but just hand tighten it down all the way. Because if this is loose, then you're gonna wrap up the belt and mess it up. And then this knob right here is what controls the speed. So it has like a dial with RPMs on it. So, I mean, right now it's at 2200. I'm gonna leave that. This is your emergency brakes. So you have to, in order to even turn the machine on, you have to let it sit in this position, just rest it on the ledge. And if something happens and you want to emergency shut it off, you just pull this knob and it will shut down. Now we add the tailstock. All right, now time to set up the auto feeder. You just lay it here, a couple bolts. All right, and you want to keep it for now, keep it all the way as close as possible to the bed of the lathe. So you can put the belt on, and then don't tighten it all the way, keep it loose. And then we put the belt on. You go all the way up here. Okay. And then we push it out. Far out as possible, and then we tighten this down. So one of the things you want to do before starting the machine is just make sure it's properly tensioned. So just push it down with your hand and make sure it's like all the way leveled, and then you can tighten it, hand tighten it all the way down. So your machine should be sitting flat right here. Your motor should be sitting flat. Okay, time to turn it on. All right, make sure everything's clear. All the wires are running from behind, and then, all right, and that's spinning. So set up, and then we can turn the knob on to make it go faster, or super slow. Okay. Okay. Let's check the auto feeder. Let's try that. We have it plugged in, and one of the things we need is the hand wheel lock, which is a knob or like this, and you push it to the side. You screw it into the side of the hand wheel, and then you screw in it all the way. Okay, now it's locked. All right, and then we just turn it on. That'll hold the wheel, so then you can see at the bottom, this thing is spinning, which is making the sled spin. So you can see it moving faster. All right, and now to set up the foot pedal. So we'll unplug the main plug, plug in the foot pedal, and then you'll see there's an extra wire or extra plug on the foot pedal. So this is where you plug in the main plug for the lathe motor. All right, now everything is plugged in, and it should work if I press it down. Yeah, so this way you can control the speed of the lathe. Another piece of equipment that comes with the lathe is, or if you buy the package number 1, is the router, which I'm not gonna set up at this moment, but in a future video, I'll definitely do a full tutorial on how to set up a router and to taper your shafts. Also, this is the taper bar that is used. The top part is for the shaft, the bottom part is for the bud. But either way, I'm done for today. This is the basic setup on how, when you open your Cue Smith Deluxe Lathe, this is how you would set it up. Or if you're interested in it, you can see how it looks like in detail. But either way, I'm done for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.